Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today's video, well, we're going to talk about Army food. Be right back with you. Again, welcome back to the channel, everybody. And before we get started, a couple of admin notes. First one, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, share with your friends and enemies, and leave a comment down below. I answer all the comments. I read all the comments. And when you write your comments, make a little bit more sense, because sometimes I'm a little bit confused. I've been living outside the United States for almost 30 years now, so I'm a little bit U.S. socially retarded. So if I could say that word, I do apologize. Anyway, the next thing is that if you notice this is my new logo patch, and yeah, it looks like, yeah, a friend of mine did this for me, and I liked it, and you'll see it on most of my stuff. But these patches, you can get them on sale. You can get them for sale on my website, helvetiabushcraft.ch, and just go to patches, and you'll see this right here. So anyway, I appreciate if you'd scrap them up, and if you buy over 100 francs, I'll throw one in the package for free. Anyway, so let's get started here. Now, I've had demand about my take on MREs and do some videos on it. A good friend of mine is sending me some, but I happen to have 3 right now. I picked them up about a month ago in Germany when I was up there for to visit a outdoor expo for 4-wheel drives, this kind of stuff. And there's a guy just happened to be selling a bunch of them. Now the dates of these things right here, let's see, $12.99. This one right here is $20.39. Now I don't know if that's a date or what this is. It doesn't sound like a date to me. It's the code that's printed on the bottom. There's a code printed on the bottom right here that's been stamped into it. This says 2040. I don't know, maybe just the date they're due out or something. This one is actually a Menu 24 Southwest style beef and black beans. Boeuf à la façon de Southwest, aux haricots noirs in French. It's an MRE, meal ready to eat. And this is commercial resale is unlawful. So I guess this is a real one right here. And I'll see the dates inside of them. The second one is an MRE. And this was a beef patty, jalapeno, pepper jack, steak haché au fromage pimenté. And this is also an official one. Okay. There you go. That one is an official one also. I didn't know that they put this on the official ones that I can remember. You know, it's been 30 years since I've been around fresh out of the box MREs. And this last one right here is a spaghetti with beef sauce. Spaghetti en sauce à la viande de bœuf. And there you go, this one right here. So, am I going to eat these? Not necessarily these right here today, but what I'm going to talk to you about is more about my experience with MREs and how we used them in the field, this kind of stuff. But I am going to open these up because there are parts of it in here I'm going to discuss with you and how we use them. Now, there are lots of videos out there, people showing, opening up an MRE, presenting it to you, telling you about all the nutritious facts, tasting it, all this kind of stuff. There's a really good one, Steve 1989 or something like that, I'm not sure. But I watch his videos and they're really good. So, but what they don't talk about is how we eat them. And what we do with the MRE, okay, and how we use it and how we do other things with it. Now, so first of all, usually we're given for combat operations 72 hours of MREs. 72 hours of MREs or 9 MREs. Can you carry 9 MREs? It's not easy. It takes a lot of space. These things are pretty big. One thing you may not realize, but the BDU pocket or the ACU pocket can fit one of these MREs inside of it, so you can carry 2 on you, actually, if you needed to. Have I ever done that? No. I think I have put one in there before. I think I have, and I think maybe I have done it. Maybe it was AIT, because in basic training, I went to basic training in 1986, and we still we didn't have MREs yet. We still had some C rations from the Vietnam War period. I didn't get MREs until AIT in infantry school. That's when I got MREs. So, and then when we got them, it was the old brown, dark brown packaging, and there wasn't that much choice. Matter of fact, nowadays, every couple of years, they change the menus a lot. They didn't do that in the very beginning. I remember some really awful MREs, some really awful stuff, but you know what? And not much selection of what came in it. And they weren't that great. I remember one of them that I actually did like was Chicken a la King, and it has English peas in it, which I hate, but I ate them in that because it didn't have very many of them in it. And I thought it was a pretty decent meal. And later on, we did other things with them, and I'll talk about that when we open them up. So we did not just eat them straight. What we did is exchange them around a lot. A lot of guys exchange them, bartered around for items within the MRE, and we use them that way. Before we open them up, we're going to talk about something else, and that is if an MRE is spoiled or not. Now, if you just not here, it's quite thin. This is really good condition. Now, I haven't been inside to smell or like that, but I can assume this is still good. I'm going to look at the dates inside of it and see what it says. I don't know what this date right here, what this number is on the outside. I have no idea what this number is. But if you have one that's sort of gonflé, or if it's expanded, or if it's ballooned up, that is not a good one, and you might as well just throw that away, because you do not want to open that up. It's going to be awful. But these right here all seem to be pretty good. Now, I guess this might be a newer one, because it actually they've really vacuum sealed it a little bit better than the older ones right here, I would say. Maybe they're older, I'm not sure. Now, these are 3 different looks of the MRE on the outside, so maybe 3 different companies that produce these right here. So I don't know that, but we're going to find out. So we used to just cut them open with a knife across the top. But now but then they started doing something smart, and they put a peelable seal on it. Now, one thing I suggest when you open these up, now what we used to do is put all the garbage back in it and throw it away. I don't suggest you do that anymore. I suggest you keep the outside as much as possible, because it makes a really good waterproof container that you can store stuff in, put some, keep it in your pack, whatever. And it's a really good waterproof container. So I opened it up. Now, it did tear a little bit right here at the top. That's not a big deal. Smelling inside of it's still quite good. This is the spaghetti with beef sauce, and let's take it out and see, and I'll show you what is in it, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Now, I remember, back in the day, they came with these, of course, they came with these MRE heaters right here, and these are pretty good. Now, they don't work so well in winter or really cold temperatures, so we actually used to use 2 of them. Sometimes, okay? Quite often we ate MREs cold. We didn't necessarily always eat them warm. And if it was already out hot weather, it didn't really matter anyway. But in the wintertime, you tended to want to heat up things, and you wanted to improve that quality, because, there are a few things a soldier likes, especially an infantryman, and that is he likes his sleep and he likes his food. So those 2 things right there already keep things and he likes staying comfortable when he sleeps also, not just sleeping. So, but anyway, so it comes with an MRE heater, and then it comes, of course, with the famous spoon. Now, we used to keep these, put them in our pockets, and man, we always had them on us, okay? And if you got a new one, you sort of stuck it inside I used to stick mine inside the rucksack, the radio pouch in the Alice. I would just slide them in there, and I always had plenty of them. And I would use one until it broke. Okay, so this is here's famous MRE spoon. It also has the package with the condiments in it, and this right here has some items in it, some chiclets and some toilet paper and some salt, a towelette in here, and it looks like a beverage-based lemonade in here. I've never seen that before, so that's quite nice. So it comes in a little waterproof container, which is another container I guess on the inside of it. This is the menu. Actually, it tells you about what's in it, all the information, stuff that we never read, at least I never read, to find out what's inside of this kind of stuff. So, yeah, So there you go. I just lost some lighting, so be right back. I apologize, I'm back now. We're gonna be a little bit less lighting because the famous YouTube oval lamp, LED, it just went out on me. So it lasted maybe a year. That's really nice. Anyway, I have to come up with some other lighting later on, but it's not gonna really matter here. You can see me and I'll be able to see you. So yeah, so we didn't pay much attention. I didn't pay much attention to all the calorie information. Maybe nowadays soldiers do. I'm sure that soldiers are trained better when it comes to that, but we just wanted to get something in our gob and eat because we were hungry. What this right here does though is you put it's a sleeve, you can put, because what happens is they've gotten rid of all the cartons, all the paper sleeves off all of the ration packets now. So so now you just take this right here, you fold it up like so, and you fold it like so, and you slide it inside of it with the ration, the heater, and that holds it together while it heats up the MRE. So what else do we have here? Well, we have a chocolate hazelnut protein drink. Never heard this right here before. A lot of this stuff is brand new to me. I mean, even though it's been out for a long time, I've never had it before. But it sounds interesting, and you just pour, I guess, some hot water in there or whatever. No, cold water, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to, into this line right here. Shake it up, and then you can drink it. It's come with a thing full of raisins here. Now, I like raisins, and these right here are something you can nibble on while you're out and about. Just quite a good thing to have on you. So, and, you know, good to have. Chocolate chip toaster pastry. This basically is a chocolate chip, what do you call them? It's a I'm trying to remember, Pop-Tart is what it is. It's a Pop-Tart in here. So, sounds good. They have numbers on them, but I don't know. I'm looking to see if there's any dates on this stuff right here. I'm just not really seeing it. Let me see on this, the raisins here, if they have a date on here. I like to eat, they better be eaten by a certain date, but I'm not seeing it. But they have these codes, like this has 1281 on the back. So right here has 1278 on the back. I don't know what that is, okay, what that means. So if anybody knows, leave it down in the comments down below, then I'll know better, okay? Something else it has cheese spread, okay? Now, cheese spread is something that I used to enjoy getting, and you can always throw this on your crackers, just kind of like that. But this right here doesn't have crackers. It comes with a Italian breadsticks. So there you go. But what you could do is you actually could put that cheese spread inside of the spaghetti sauce to give it a little bit more creaminess, a little bit more flavor, this kind of stuff. Because the taste on this stuff is not necessarily what you would normally have at home or in a restaurant like that, or whatever. But it's actually pretty good stuff. This is it's just cheese spread. Here we go. It says, it tells you, you can get you an idea of what it says on there. Okay. Anyway, and then of course it has this this Italian breadsticks. I've never seen that before. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is brand new to me. And the last thing it has is spaghetti with beef sauce. And this has a estimated, I don't know, 1803. I don't know if that's a time. I don't know what this stuff is. Let's see. I don't see a date on here. There's something on here, but there's numbers. And I'll show you these numbers if you can have a look at them. But I don't see dates on them. Anyway, so how do we eat this stuff? Well, what's really cool is that finally they put the tear notch at the top so you can eat it this way. For a long time, they were just tear notches up top right here, but everybody still cut it this way, and it was never an even line. It was a bit of a mess, but finally they've done that. So what you do is you knead it up really well and then put it in MRE heater or eat it the way it is. And then when you're ready, you would basically push all this down to the bottom, open up this line, open this right here up, spread it open, and then you can eat like having it in a bowl. And it makes it much easier to do that way. And then, like I said, you can add on to it. Now, something that's not in these right here, that not in these MREs that were in them when I was in the Army, is that I remember the first ones, we used to get ketchup in them, like a powdered ketchup or something like that. And then in some of them, and then there was Tabasco sauce, a little small bottle of Tabasco sauce. Then I saw it went to a little small tube of Tabasco. And then now there's no Tabasco in this one here at all. So I guess guys are just bringing their own Tabasco with them. I remember one time when I was in Saudi Arabia during the war, I saw this. I had seen this Humvee, and in the window, across the window band, he must have had, you know, hundreds of these little Tabasco bottles across the window that were there. So I guess he's showing everybody that he was collecting them or how many he'd eaten or whatever. So that's basically what you'd have. Now, what would we do if we get ready to go to the field? Well, a lot of times we'd cut a lot of stuff out, and we would get rid of the heater. Now, if we got them in the field, we dealt with them in the field. But in preparation to go, we would break our MREs down. We would get rid of the stuff that really just did not matter that much to us, okay? We'd open this right here up and take maybe the toilet paper out. Most guys carried a roll of toilet paper with them, so you really didn't need it. A lot of stuff right here would just be thrown. I remember seeing guys with boxes of spoons and this right here with them because they would carry one spoon to the field, and that would do for everything, okay? And then in the end, if you didn't have a spoon, you could always just open it up and you could just feed out of it that way, okay? Of course, I would carry the cheese spread and the crackers, but quite often, because the crackers you can add to some of the main meals and it would give it a little bit more volume, actually. The chocolate pastry, of course, I'd bring that. The raisins I'd bring. The drink, probably not. And the bread, yeah, I'd probably bring it. So what I would do is I'd basically break this down to where it was this big now, only this amount of stuff. Some guys would tape it up or I'd put it back into the MRE wrapper, several of them into one MRE and close it up, and I'd pull out whatever I needed. And that would go into the butt pack or into the main pack or whatever. Quite often within the radio compartment, I would stick MREs in there, this portion of them. And then you can easily carry more MREs and you have less all of this part right here, okay? That's still a bit of volume, and of course, it's weight. So that way you cut out as much as possible, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna open up another one. The reason why I'm opening these up because I want to talk to you, explain to you what we did and how we ate them. And they were all a little bit different. So this right here is also the pull tab. This is the beef patty, jalapeno patty jack, what's called pepper jack. I've never heard of this before. I mean, it sounds good. And this one comes a little bit different. This comes actually in a small little bag here. So you have the main bag, and this one's already in this bag right here. So it's quite compact actually already. If you look at this right here, this is this one right here. And after I've broken it down, this is what you have left over. So, and it looks pretty interesting, okay? It's in a little plastic bag. So let's have a look at it. Now what I'm gonna do is when I get the MREs, they're coming from the United States, I'm gonna sit down and make some stuff with it, okay? But here, what I wanna do is, usually what we would do is I'd break them down if I got 3 MREs, and I would see how I'm going to organize it to eat, okay? Quite often in the field, you just threw stuff down your gob. You didn't have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot. Yeah, it's interesting because actually it's in a flattened type pack, okay, like this. And then the top part, you have these pieces you can tear to get into it. So here we go. What's the first thing I have in here? Actually, it's not even, oh yeah, it's marked here. And I can't really see it, but this right here is the patty right here, okay? So we have that. Then it comes with fat-free mayonnaise. What the hell is fat-free mayonnaise? I've never heard of that. But anyway, it comes with fat-free mayonnaise. Never even thought about bringing mayonnaise to the field with me. Then it comes with a cheese spread with bacon. Sounds interesting. Completely different from the other one. And then we have a oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. That sounds good. A lot of this stuff adds a little bit of flavor to the your diet, to your meal. Okay, and we make recipes with these things. I'll talk more about that to you. This is potato gratin potatoes right here, which is pretty good. Sounds good right there. A lot of stuff you can throw together. You can cut your meat patty up, throw it inside of there. I don't know what kind of sauce it is with it, but anyway, a beverage base orange type 0. Actually, I like it like it's right here because it's much smaller. It reminds me of those coffee tubes, but this is a great idea. Now, it should sell these like this. Maybe they do, and you can buy a bunch of them, and you can make your own MREs, okay? Then you have the packet, which has all your small stuff. You have a Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee. So there's coffee in this right here. The other one didn't have coffee in it. That's something that used to always come with them, matches and coffee. And this right here, I don't see any matches in here. There could be. I'll look a little bit later maybe, but there's some salt and pepper. There's some salt in here, some chiclets. There's some sugar, I think, in here. Yeah, I think there's even another, yep, there's another little small mini beverage powder in here. There's a few things in here. So there you go. If you look into a lot of ration history, they used to have cigarettes in rations, and then up until a certain point, and so those are quite looked after for collectors. We have barbecue sauce, a tube of barbecue sauce. That's really interesting. So you can add that to your beef patty. Look at this right here, a packet of M&Ms, okay? Now, I think these were just coming out at the end of my time in the Army. I left in '96 from active duty. So I think that these were, and these are regular peanut M&Ms, really good. Maybe these will have a date on them. Let's see, what was, this will give me a better idea here. 10/20/22. So these are already out by a year. Well, less than a year, actually. Oh, it comes with a hot beverage bag. Okay, I guess you can make hot beverage inside this right here instead of your canteen cup. We used to live out of our canteen cup. I have mine right here, and this is what we did everything in, okay? Of course, another spoon. Tortilla, a plain tortilla right here, okay? And then, of course, your heater bag and your carton, which gives you also nutrition facts about this beef patty grilled jalapeno pepper jack flavor with au gratin potatoes. So it gives you all this information, okay? So before we continue on, we're going to talk about some things that we used to do with our MREs. Quite often what we did is that we would take, for example, different parts of the MRE, we would save it or we'd hold on to it, and that will become later on, would be mixed in with another MRE to help enhance the flavor or the volume or something like that. That we would do quite often. You would take, for example, your cheese spread and put it inside. You know, if you didn't have cheese spread with one, you'd bring it and you add it to, for example, if you had the egg. I don't know if they have those eggs anymore, but back in my day we had the omelet, and I used to put the cheese inside that, or I would put in Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce in it. I can't say that. And or I would bring a bottle with me and have that with me, or you can have other spices. Something else we used to do is we used to bring a lot of, well, this is all considered poke bait. You bring supplemental things like extra candy bars with you, or you used to take ramen. And ramen, what we used to do with ramen, we'd boil up the water, throw the main packet of ramen in here, and then we would take the cheese from the MRE, put it in there, the crackers from the MRE, and some spices, and and you'd have this in this cup, and that made a really good hot meal, especially in wintertime. If you had some time, you're in a patrol base, or if you're in sort of an administrative sleep area, and you can sit there and make yourself a nice little meal that would fill you up a good bit. You put water in your system, but also it really had a completely different flavor than just the MRE. So that's something we used to do. Something else we used to do is we used to make something called Ranger pudding, and that you take the cocoa powder, which I haven't seen so far. You take the cocoa powder, you put it, and we used the actual cocoa powder package. You'd open it up, and you put some hot water or some water in it, or hot water, whatever, with the creamer in it, the coffee in it, the sugar, and the crackers, and you put it all inside the cocoa powder, mix it up, and that made what we call Ranger pudding. And that's another thing that we used to do with the MREs, okay? This is actually a pretty good layout right here, and it's actually quite a decent set of meals here. Like I said, I haven't tried the newer stuff, especially not the First Strike or just kind of stuff like that, but this right here is actually looking pretty good. I'm going to put these back into the containers afterwards, and I'm going to use these right here next time I go camping, because I actually do enjoy, I don't mind eating MREs. Now, like I said, I'm going to go into a much better tutorial in a future video where we're going to sit there, break them open, and eat some MREs, okay, and give you some idea of the flavor from my own opinion. And I think this box I'm going to get is going to be much newer MREs, you know. Like I said, I might get myself some First Strike and trying that out. So this right here is the Southwest style beef and black beans. And it's number 24 actually. So I like that. Menu 24, that was menu 19. And this one right here was menu 4. So there you go. Also in the same kind of container packaging like this right here. So you can take it out of the main packaging and you can just throw this right here in your gear if you want to. I think it's not a bad idea. Like I said, all this, you know, they say gotten rid of all the cardboard, so that's a bit of paper and volume that they've gotten rid of. So that's already pretty good. So what do we have in this right here? Well, we have the main meal, I guess, and this is the beef with black beans right here. Okay, you can get a look at that. All right, and so that's the main part. What else has this got in it? Applesauce pound cake. Okay, look. They might as well just go ahead and put flavored pound, like chocolates kind of stuff in all of them. Because you know what? Most people like chocolate. And of course, this is a bit of a change. But you got to wonder who the hell at NATAC is coming up with some of these menus. Especially some of the flavors. You know, applesauce pound cake. Cheese spread. So that would be good along with it. And then, of course, oh, what's this right here? A tortilla. Chipotle tortilla. I've never ever heard this before, so I have to see what that is later on. And then, but it sounds interesting. They get, you know, a lot of Latino food inside of our MREs, which I think is great. Cherry blueberry cobbler. This sounds fantastic. I cannot wait to try this out. This sounds fantastic. Oh, this sounds really good. And it's there's a date. I guess it's SPB 2025. So this right here is pretty good. That means it's still got a couple more years left on it. Teriyaki beef stick. Now look, they got this big packaging right here for what's in it. I mean, they could just roll it up into its own little thing and just put it in there, you know. Anyway, I get the chance to see a lot of foreign MREs, and they're completely different than the American stuff, you know. Oh, we got a little situation here where the packaging has sort of been packaged together. And this is, of course, another condiments package. It has pretty much the same what you saw in the other one, or what I talked to in the other one. It actually has coffee in it, so, and some sugar and stuff like that. So a little bit different from that first package. And the last things it has in it is, of course, the brown spoon. Now I remember when when I got the first time I had MREs back when I had C rations, I think it was a white spoon. We had a small white spoon, and I think it was something like that also for the first MREs in the brown packaging. I think the brown ones came out a little bit later. The spoons did. Anyway. And then, of course, you have the heater and this kind of stuff. Oh, and there's another beverage powder drink. And this one right here is cranberry grape. Now, I actually like cranberry juice. It's really good for you, especially if you're having some issues with your urinary tract, this kind of stuff. If you can get some real cranberry and drink it, I will drink it, actually, especially in the wintertime when there's that chance. But anyway, that's these MREs, okay, that I just sort of picked up. And they look pretty good, okay? And like I said, you can add things to it. You know, if you got the Chipotle right here, you can go get your nacho or your, what was this other cheese spread I had over here? Yeah, this one comes with cheese spread, but you can get one of the other cheese spreads. I think it's this one right here. No, that wouldn't work. Cheese spread with bacon. So you get a regular cheese spread, and this is American cheese, or what's it called, nacho cheese. You put that with it, and then you can take your black beans and put them inside the Chipotle. And then what else you got here? Yeah, and you can have that. And you got a snack for a teriyaki beef stick. So here you can put these three right here together, and you can have like a regular, you know, a wrap. You know, so that's one thing you can do, and actually it's would enhance the flavor, make the whole thing just taste so much better. And you know what? Like I said, you can use these things for camping. And you can keep a couple of them in your car just in case, you know. It's good to have some MREs around, you know, or some kind of ration like that. You can also make your own up. You can go out and buy some of these kind of things that have are non-perishable, have a long shelf life, and you can put them together in some Ziploc bags, and you can make your own MREs. You don't necessarily have to go, and these, because these things are expensive. I think these are here cost me like 15 bucks each. I remember they were going for like $8 to $10 each, or you can buy a whole case of 12 for, I think it was like 80 bucks or 90 bucks. I bought 2 cases the last time I was in the United States. I opened the cases up, I flattened down the box, and these were the much bigger cases. It wasn't the old school flat cases. and I flattened down the box inside of a gym bag, which I had purchased for nothing in the States, put all the MREs on it, and I put it under the aircraft and got it back here to Europe with me. And I used them. I use them because I don't keep them forever. I do use them, you know. So, and this other MRE right here, what can we do with this right here? We have the plain tortilla. We have the gratin potatoes. You have the beef. So you have you have the cheese spread with bacon and the barbecue sauce. You can actually put all these right here together. You can make yourself something. Now, of course, I don't like messy food, and that seems a little bit messy, especially but it's right here. But actually, what I do like is you take this. You can put the barbecue sauce inside the potatoes a little bit right here, and then or in a cheese spread inside the potatoes, and that is a really nice little thing. That's like a baked potato. You know, you can take that and heat it up really well, put those items on it, and that would actually give you a baked potato feeling about it, you know. So that would be pretty good too. So you're not going exactly going to, and then of course, these go in your pocket. That's dessert. The beverage powders, hell yeah, you're going to use them right there. You're going to try them out. I definitely want to try one of these out, and it's I want to try out this one right here, which is the cranberry, okay? I happen to have some water here. I don't know if it's going to be enough water. I got it in this thing right here. We're going to try it out. I'm going to take my cup out here. Actually, you know what? We're going to use the container. We're going to put it in the container, see how that works out. I actually have some cold water over here. Be right back with you. I keep cold water in the refrigerator. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, because I want to get an idea of the color also. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing right here, open it up. I do like these. Imagine having a bunch of these right here, packets of these right here. I don't know if these exist. If you know these exist, let me know. And if you got a link, I want to know that too, because I definitely want to buy some of them, because I think it'd be a great idea to get, it has a good flavor to it. I got a whiff of it right here. Now, of course, this is all artificial. There's nothing real about it, but you know, it's lightweight and you can carry it with you. It's a purplish color, which is, you know, that's also artificial. I'll tell you a little bit about the purple colors, this kind of stuff. There is a bug, an insect that is collected up in Las Palmas in Spain, this kind of stuff in those hot climates. And this bug is used for its red dye and lipstick and all this kind of stuff. And so that's what it's used for. So we'll just grab a spoon out of here. This is in my buffet here. Mix this out here up, you get it, it's that cranberry. It actually tastes very good. I'm gonna try this out. Pretty decent. Pretty decent, okay? It's not bad. Huh. I remember we used to get these back in the Army, and of course, it was mostly orange-based powders kind of stuff, and it was a much bigger packet it was, and it was sort of one of those things you sort of, at the very end of the meal, you would put that in there. You'd already drink a lot of water from your canteens, this kind of stuff like that, but it was never really cold. This was wintertime. It tastes really good in the colder water. I think it needs a little bit more water, maybe. I don't think it's all dissolved. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And so it's pretty good. Of course, everything else about this thing, you know, a lot of this stuff is from, you know, it's a regular company that make a lot of stuff anyway. So I'm sure, like I said, you get some wet wipes, throw them in there. You can come up with your own, you know, wet wipes are better than, you know, that and toilet paper, you know, inside of a bag. You don't really use it this way anyway. Okay, I'm digging it. It's pretty good. But that's it. 25 minutes of me blah, blah, blah about MREs. Anyway, this is a little bit strange right here, though. This right here, I don't know about this. I can't imagine myself eating any fat-free mayonnaise. That doesn't sound right whatsoever, so it's gonna go in there because you never know. But you can get mayonnaise packets from, like I said, you can make yourself your own thing like that. And I think that's what I'm gonna try to do in the future. Go around, see if I can't find this stuff. It's harder here to find this kind of stuff, but see what I can find maybe online or whatever, and put myself together a couple of MREs that way and see how it would work out. I know, like I said, over in the States, you can get like the packets of tuna and this kind of stuff like that. Here, it doesn't happen. We don't have it that way here. So anyway, a little bit limited here in Switzerland. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you're interested in this Mike Box logo pouch, let me know. And we'll send them out to you. And if you make a certain amount of order, I'll throw one into the box also in helvetiabushcraft.ch. I'll have the links down below, and you can go check it out on the website. And I appreciate you continue following the channel. And like I said, I will have a series on where I will actually be making and eating some of these oranges. But there's so many people that do it. I know what they taste like. But I'll try some of these out in the future and see what I think about them. But anyway, like I said, we did not just eat the MRE. I think the only time you just eat an MRE is like in the early days, basic training AIT. After that, because there you don't have much time. After that, you start, finessing, working on your recipes, putting things together, and bringing stuff from home to put into it, like poke bait or whatever, to add to enhance your MRE. Because they do just enough to get some calories in you, but you always feel maybe a little bit hungrier. But you're so busy in the field anyway, it's not a big deal anyway. But sometimes, quite often, they'll bring in hot food for you to eat. But usually you'll get at least a couple of these if you're an infantryman a day. And if it's longer, you might get several days of them. And then you got to pack all that stuff in and, of course, pack all your garbage out. So what you want to do is you want to cut that down to where you have just what you need. Now, of course, Arnie goes into this right here, and they put a whole lot into this about having the nutrition levels that you need to eat this whole MRE, blah, blah, blah. They're not humping this stuff around, and I swear to God, the people who if they did hump this stuff around, they seem to have forgotten about it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing your next video. Hope you enjoyed this dining room decor, and we'll talk again soon. And you guys take care of yourselves. Goodbye.